posted to social media that shows a chaotic arrest that you see get even more chaotic after this woman enters the frame. Identified as 19-year-old Tamani Crum, she confronts an officer as he arrested a man Crum reportedly knows. The woman engages the officer, appearing to slap him, and he responds with what looks like a wallop of a punch, causing her to fall backwards onto pavement. You see her get picked up off the ground and taken into custody. Here is Crum's grandmother.
He cold knocked her out. He's no better than the people who's knocking people out in the street.
Crum's mother, who asked we not use her name and who did not make any public comments, sobbed as she stood next to the family's lawyer, Jamie Santana.
I'm here with the mother of Miss Crum. She's obviously very shaken and devastated by the assault that took place yesterday on her daughter. The officer involved in this case was approximately 3 times her body weight and size. This was unnecessary, and it's unacceptable. This has to stop.
A lot of people may be upset and might be outraged from what took place on Tuesday in Harlem on West 136, Adam Clayton, involving an NYPD officer and a 19-year-old female named Tamani Crum. I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. This 19-year-old female thought it would be a good idea to interfere with an arrest that was happening in Harlem that day. Now, what was going on in Harlem was they were arresting a man. I haven't found his name, did a little bit of research, haven't found his name, but this man was being arrested for attempted murder, possession of drugs, and he was loaded with a ghost gun. For those that don't know what a ghost gun is a made-up homemade gun with gun parts. And you use those gun parts and you basically make your own gun with those gun parts. While this man was being arrested, Miss Crum thought it would be a great idea to interfere while the police were arresting this man, and this woman got pushed and hit her head on the concrete. Now, judging by the video, a lot of people may feel, I don't really want to say may feel, a lot of people feel that Ms. Crum actions were okay. And I'm here to say that, in my opinion, I don't think her actions were okay at all. For starters, you are interfering in a police arrest. You are interfering with police doing their job. And I believe this person was this woman's boyfriend. They were together. They were a couple, I believe. But forget all of that. You are interfering with a police arrest. Like I told you before early in the video, this man was being arrested for attempted murder, drugs, and having a loaded gun on him. And I'm quite sure this man has been arrested for other numerous charges if he's being charged with stuff like this. Stuff like this doesn't just happen out the blue. But to continue with the topic in the video, this woman tried to force her way through NYPD and basically see what the hell was going on. In the video, you could definitely see the NYPD having his hand up forward. So this woman won't come any closer to the NYPD's investigation. While doing that, NYPD, this officer has his hand up, and this woman decides to come closer. While doing that, the woman gets upset and say, "Don't put your hands on me," and takes a swing at the officer. You could clearly hear her in the video say, "Don't put your hands on me," when the officer was just trying to restrain her from coming any closer while they were trying to do their job. He tried to restrain her the first time by having his hand up, basically telling her, "Don't come any closer." Once the officer has his hand up and basically tells her, "Don't come any closer," she tells the officer, "Don't put your hands on me." So the officer pushes her. This woman tries to swing on the officer. She hits the officer, and the officer retaliates and hit the woman back. The woman hits her head on the concrete. Now, I have seen this video plenty of times and have seen different people's point of view, different people's comments upon this video that everybody is seeing right now. And a lot of people feel like just because this person was a woman or this person is tiny, that she didn't deserve to get pushed to the floor like that. Now, I do agree that this situation could have been handled a lot better, but I'm still not mad at the officer for doing his job. Because again, one, you are interfering in a police investigation, that's one. And two, you put your hands on an officer when he was just trying to restrain you from coming any closer while they were just doing their job. You took a swing at him and he took a swing back. That's a felony. You could go to jail for that. You could do some time for that, for hitting an NYPD officer or hitting any cop. That's a felony. And all I can see in the comment section is a bunch of people telling me that the officer should lose his job, that they need to have more training on dealing with people. And he should have never did that to that young woman. I don't understand. I don't know if this is a woman thing. I don't understand how people may feel like when a woman puts their hands on somebody and somebody hits them back, especially a man, they feel like we can't retaliate and hit right back. But to continue with the subject, this woman has to take accountability for her actions on what she did. There was no reason for her to get that close to these officers while they were just trying to do their job. And this guy wasn't the only person that got arrested. There were other people that were interfering with the arrest also besides this woman. These officers got spit on and all that. And I see stuff like this all the time in the hood where these young adults disrespect these police officers, where they spit on them, they throw things at them. I see it all the time. One of the main issues is that we don't have no respect for each other. Between the police and the civilians, we don't have no respect for each other at all. And this was just an example of what happens when you don't respect an NYPD officer for doing their job. This whole situation could have been handled a lot better if this woman was very calm instead of being very aggressive in this manner. And again, there's people in the comment section just saying stuff like, "Oh, because she's tiny, why would he do that? NYPD needs to learn how to restrain people better." Listen, this man did the best way he could do to try to restrain this woman on what was going on. Again, this man was being arrested for dangerous charges. Charges that could put people's families and lives at risk. I had one woman in the comment section call me a sucker because I agree on how NYPD handled the situation. Again, this whole situation could have been handled a lot better, but am I mad at the NYPD officer for trying to restrain this woman and this woman falling? No, I'm not mad for the officer for trying to do his job at all. No, I'm not. Just people need to just start taking accountability on the shit they do. When you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And this is what happened to this woman. Now she got arrested, and I don't know if she's being charged yet, but she could be charged with a felony for assaulting an officer. It doesn't matter if you're big, small, tall, short, black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever race you are, color, size, height, length you are, there are rules in this world, and there are consequences when you break rules and you break the law. And people need to understand that this woman's actions is what caused her to hit her head on the concrete. You got people in her community protesting about this, that this officer was wrong, that he cold hard hit her. Her mother is there on the news crying. And people just need to understand again, it don't matter what size you are, how tall, big, female, male, white, black, whatever race, color, height, weight you are, that a lot of these consequences, when you do shit like this, expect the consequences. Again, in the video, you clearly see this woman try to engage with this officer when he's just trying to restrain her from doing anything else. It's a very sad video. I'm sorry that this young woman had to go through this, but it was very lawful for the officer to do this. And the woman was in charge. She wasn't charged at all. The officer didn't press no charges on this female. And she was released the same day. Nobody got killed. Officer didn't pull his handgun out. None of that happened. The community has to do a better way of raising their children and preparing them for the world, teaching them how to be respectful to people. I totally get that police officers could be total dickheads. Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, that doesn't give you a right to still disrespect them at all. Especially when they're trying to do their job and do an investigation or something that you have nothing to deal with just because that's your man. The best thing you could do is film and try to stay as calm as possible. This way, you won't be in a situation where anyone else will be in a situation like this. I hope this will teach a valuable lesson on taking accountability of your actions on what you do, because again, like I tell you, if you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. It's best that we own up to the shit we do instead of trying to sue people or try to look for a bag for the shit that we fucked up or we caused because of our actions. Now we upset because our actions put us in this predicament. Moral of the story is, mind your business, take criticism for the dumb shit you do, and make better and smart decisions when you're dealing with shit like this. Before I go, please take a chance to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Route 2111. Follow me on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I'll be putting all that down in the description below. Thank you for everybody taking the time to listen. Take care of yourself. Be safe. One love.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoes, I don't really love them. Touch, but I never trust them. Foes, I don't think none of them. God, so they can't one up them. Stress.